Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree, and today is the long anticipated. I've teased it multiple times. Why I don't like Disney films. Now I have to specify. When I say Disney film here, I'm referring to movies produced by Walt Disney Pictures before they went on the buying spree and bought everything else. So this is pre-Marvel, pre-Lucasfilm. You know. This is back in the day. This was back even before they bought Pixar. We're just talking Walt Disney Pictures, Walt Disney Productions. I'm not a fan, and I've never been a fan. And anytime I see the Disney logo, I roll my eyes, and I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this movie. And I'd say 8 times out of 10, I don't. Out of their entire catalog, I couldn't come up with 25 Disney. I can't do a top 25 Disney list. I can't. Especially if I'm excluding Marvel and Star Wars. I can't do it. There's not 25 Disney films worth my fucking time. I'm going to take it a step further. I'd be hard-ass pressed to come up with a top 10 Disney films. That's how little I care about this company. I do not I have nothing... And it isn't because of capitalism or any of that shit. I mean, that's why they're evil, but that's not the point. The point is, their movies are fucking rubbish. I can't fucking stand them. For starters, 70% of their catalog are animated films. And y'all know me. I'm automatically not a fan of cartoons. It has to be something special for me to give a fuck. Transformers the movie, 1986, alright. You got my attention. Shrek? Okay. We'll talk. Anything, and we'll get there. There's a whole nother video on Don Bluth. Anything with the name Don Bluth in it. Hard-ass pass. But why? I titled this Why I Don't Like Disney. Not just that I don't. I'm not just going to shit on it and move on. We're going to dig into it. The other 30% of their catalog are live-action cartoons. What I mean by that is they're movies in the sense that they star real people, human, fleshy people, most of the time. Although modern Disney has used CGI and AI to recreate human people, but that's another story. We're not getting into that. No, we're just talking historical Disney. Shit, bullshit, like Escape to Witch Mountain, or the Apple fucking Who Gives a Shit gang. Or, I don't know. I'll say it. Fucking Mary Ass Poppins. Bullshit rubbish movies. Why I don't like them. Now, it isn't just because they're all, 100% of them, musicals. I'm not categorically against musicals. Now, I am apprehensive when it comes to musicals. They're not my cup of tea. I don't enjoy musicals by and large. So 9 times out of 10, as soon as I learn a movie's a musical, I'm going in with, oh God, you're going to have to convince me. And unless you're MGM's The Wizard of Oz, good fucking luck. I'm just saying. Grease, even Footloose, fucking Little Shop of Horrors, those are not my movies. West Side Story. I was a band geek. I was in choir. I had to watch all this shit when I was in high school. I was forced to watch all these musicals when I was in high school. And a good number of them were produced by Walt Disney Pictures. So I'm automatically not a fan of musicals. Now, not all, I exaggerated when I said 100%. Not all of their films are musicals. But more often than not, they are. So much so that you can assume it's a musical if it says Walt Disney Pictures and it was made before the year 2000. Pretty much. You could make that, and it would be a very safe assumption. Unless it's a Disney Channel original, which is a whole other story. Because I actually like the Disney Channel stuff, so we're going to go into that in a whole nother video. We're just talking about the films today, not Disney as a whole. Because actually, there's a lot of Disney stuff I do like. Surprise, I know. I'm actually a big fan of Disney, to tell you the truth. I just hate their movies. They're Walt Disney Studios films, by and large. Not literally every single one of them. But then you got to the 90s and they started making bullshit like Man of the House and Tom and Huck and The Mighty Ducks. And I'm like, why? Why do these movies exist? Who are these movies for? The answer is not me, and I don't know. But in reverse order. So, the musicals, that we'll just cross them off. That's an automatic hard pass. I can't think of a single Disney-produced musical I liked. Not one. There's only like maybe 3 musicals in the history of musicals I did like, and MGM's The Wizard of Oz is at the top of that list. I'm not going to go down that list right now. That's a whole nother video, because I'd have to really think about it. Because I know I liked La La Land, but I don't know if that counts as a musical. If it does, you could put La La Land on that list. But I'd be hard-pressed to find a third movie that's a musical. A proper musical that I actually enjoyed. But anyways, let's push through that. Let's power through the pain. Yes, I know they're kids' movies. But here's a secret you probably knew but maybe didn't know. I was a kid once. And I actually watched kids' movies with my parents. Because, you know, they liked to watch movies with us as a kid. And we watched My Favorite Martian and That Darn Cat and all those fucking bullshit Disney movies. The Apple Dumpling Gang, give me a fucking break. Swiss Family Robinson, eat shit. Not for me. These movies are fucking boring. They're boring-ass movies. They're basically, you know, they're basically lectures. They're morality lectures on this is how you be a good person. And if you're not a good person, magical bad things will happen to you. But if you are a good person, magical good things will happen to you. No thanks. This sounds too much like Sunday school to me. So that's one strike they have against them. I'm not going to give them a strike for the bad acting because most of it's chalked up to their kids' movies. You expect it to be over-the-top acting. I'll give it a pass for that. Plus, I enjoy a lot of cheesy B movies which have bad acting, so bad acting is not in and of itself a strike against a movie. It just depends on how bad the acting is and was the bad acting intentional or accidental. Intentional is, you know, hey, we made this movie, let's have fun with it. Accidental is, guys, let's make a movie, I can only pay you in Domino's cheese pizza, so let's have fun. And you're going to get bad acting because you're paying your friends with cheese pizza to make a movie. You expect them to not give a shit. Now, Meat Lover's Pizza, alright, I'll give you a 3 on the acting scale. A cheese pizza, you're getting a 0.5. Anyways, so there is that. I don't like the fact that most of these movies are very fucking preachy. I mean, like, almost all of them. Like, literally almost all of them are so goddamn preachy. And it's always things like, family is the most important thing in the world. And money never buys happiness. You should be happy you're poor because poor people have the most wealth. They have their families and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, if you grew up poor and your family was shit, that message doesn't sit well with you. You're just like, alright, fuck off. Fairy tales. Let's take a detour into the animated films. Now, again, going into a cartoon, I'm automatically, like, disinterested because I'm not a big fan of cartoons. It has to be something special for me to give a shit. Fortunately, Disney excels at special, so they actually have made a handful of animated films that did impress me. If I don't mention it in this video, I did watch it, I didn't give a shit about it, or I won't watch it because I don't give a shit about it. Briefly, the ones I like, and I'm just gonna list them. I'm not gonna get into what I like about it. That's a whole nother video. Snow White, Peter Pan, The Jungle Book, 101 Dalmatians, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. The end. That's it. That's my entire Disney catalog. That is literally every Disney animated film I will ever rewatch. That's it. All the rest of them, not interested. Hard fucking pass. Yeah. Nothing special. They're just cartoons, you know, they're half-assed musicals with a morality tale, and it's usually like, you know, hey, if you're a white Christian and you love your parents and you say your prayers, good things will happen to you. Yeah, okay. But what if you're not? Well, then we have to dig into other fairy tales and appropriate from other cultures, and that's problematic in and of itself, but we, you know, we do our best. I'm just not a fan of the fairy tales that most of these movies are based on. Oh, I forgot to mention Cinderella. I forgot that one. I kind of like Cinderella. That one's kind of fun. The mice. It's all about the mice for me. The rest of the movie, when the mice are on screen, I'm like, all right, this is cool. And then when it's all the other bullshit, I'm like, can we get back to the mice, please? Please? That's pretty much it. I don't really know. I don't really, like, I'm not going to, like, analyze 10,000 movies because Disney churns out, like, 100 movies a year. And they've been making movies since, like, the 30s. So there's no way for me to just dig into their entire catalog. I studied film in college, you know this. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so Disney was everywhere. I grew up in America. Disney basically runs this country. Unofficially, but kind of officially in its own way. They got their fingerprints in everything. So yeah, I grew up in a world dominated by Disney. So yeah, it was bound to happen. Eventually, they'd put out something I enjoyed. So just by the rule of math, you know, statistically speaking, they put out as many movies as they do. Yeah, I'm going to stumble into one I like. But by and large, I'm not a fan of Disney films, especially the live-action films, but in particular also the animated films. To that end, as much as I'm not a big fan of animation, those animated films I just listed is the entirety of Disney's catalog before they started getting into, you know, the 2000s when they got into blockbusters and started buying everybody up. Before that, that's every movie I liked by Disney. That's it. So yeah, of the movies they make that I do enjoy, they're all animated. And I'm not even a fan of animation, so what does that tell you? Not a fan of Disney films. Like I said, the Walt Disney production or studios films. Now, it's a different story when we're talking Disney Channel originals, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. I'm not even going to ask what's your favorite Disney film because that's going to start a war in the comments, and nobody's going to see this video. You know, 12 people will watch this video, so, you know, I don't expect any comments. Other than maybe you're stupid because you don't like Disney movies, I guess, or people calling me out for not liking their favorite Disney movie or whatever. But whatever, I don't care. Disney doesn't do it for me. They never did. Now, as a company, they were able to turn things around, starting with the Pirates of the Caribbean films, and then they decided that wasn't good enough, so they bought up everybody else that I liked, and I was like, alright, now I have to watch Disney. Alright, stay cool.